Most people pick a cat by looks or color, but the wrong choice can mean years of misunderstanding and missed love. Could you be making this mistake right now? And at the end, the truth about your choice will finally be revealed. Number 1. Orange or ginger cats. Here's what most people get wrong about orange cats. Everyone loves them. They look warm, friendly, cuddly, and that's exactly why millions of owners choose them, without knowing what they're actually signing up for. Studies from the University of California, Davis found that orange cats, particularly males, score significantly higher in aggression compared to other coat colors. We're not talking about playful swatting. We're talking biting, scratching, and dominance-driven behavior that can escalate without proper handling. But here's the other side of that coin. That same aggression comes packaged with extreme loyalty. Orange cats form intense one-person bonds. They will follow you room to room, demand your attention, and become genuinely distressed when ignored. So if you live alone and want a cat that acts more like a dog, orange might actually be your perfect match. But if you have small children or other pets, go in with your eyes open. This cat will test your patience before it melts your heart. And if you think an orange cat sounds intense, wait until you hear what the most returned cat in shelters worldwide actually looks like. The answer will genuinely surprise you. The black cats. Black cats are the most returned cats in shelters worldwide. Let that sink in. People adopt them, bring them home, and send them back, often within weeks. And the reason has nothing to do with superstition. It has everything to do with mismatched expectations. Research published in the Journal of Applied Animal Welfare Science found that black cats are consistently rated as less friendly and more mysterious by potential adopters before any interaction even happens. That bias follows them home. Owners unconsciously expect aloofness and get exactly what they look for. But here's what the data actually shows. Black cats raised in stable, affectionate environments test just as high in sociability as any other color. The real problem isn't the cat, it's the owner going in with the wrong mindset. Black cats are also statistically healthier. Their high melanin levels are linked to stronger immune responses and lower risk of certain genetic diseases. If you've ever owned a black cat and felt like it truly chose you, science says you're not imagining that. You just earned it. But what about the cat that looks the most innocent, the most pure, the one that seems like it could never cause problems? What shelters know about this color will completely change how you see it. The white cats. White cats look angelic, pure, calm, and that image sells millions of adoptions every year. But there's a warning most breeders and shelters never give you up front. A significant percentage of white cats, particularly those with blue eyes, are born deaf. Studies show that up to 65 to 85% of white cats with two blue eyes carry congenital deafness in one or both ears. That's not a small number. That's a condition that will completely reshape how you communicate with, train, and protect your cat. Deaf cats cannot hear predators, cars, or your voice. They startle easily, which can trigger defensive aggression. They require indoor-only environments and a completely different communication system built on touch, vibration, and visual cues. None of this makes white cats less lovable, but it makes them a serious responsibility. If you weren't told this before bringing one home, you were set up to fail. White cats need owners who are prepared, patient, and educated, not just owners who wanted something beautiful. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting, because the next color looks completely ordinary, almost boring. But behaviorists say it might be the most emotionally complicated cat you'll ever own, the gray or blue cats. Gray cats fly under the radar. No dramatic stories, no viral stereotypes, just quiet, consistent companions that most people underestimate. And that's exactly the problem. Owners choose gray cats expecting an easy, low-maintenance pet. What they get instead is one of the most emotionally complex cats in the spectrum. Behaviorists consistently describe gray cats as highly sensitive, deeply intuitive, and emotionally reactive to household stress. Studies on coat color and temperament have found that blue-gray cats score high on both affection and anxiety. They attach deeply to their primary person, but that attachment comes with a cost. Changes in routine, loud environments, new people, or even rearranged furniture can send a gray cat into visible distress. Stress-related health issues like overgrooming, appetite loss, and urinary problems show up more frequently in highly sensitive coat color profiles. If your household is calm, consistent, and quiet, a gray cat will reward you with a depth of companionship that few other colors can match. But if your home is chaotic, do not get a gray cat and expect it to adapt. It won't. It will suffer quietly, and you won't even notice until it's too late. So gray cats suffer in silence. But the next cat on this list, it won't suffer quietly at all. In fact, vets have a specific word for its attitude, and once you hear it, you'll never forget it: the Calico cats. Calico cats have a reputation. Ask any vet, any shelter worker, any experienced cat owner, and they'll tell you the same thing. Calicos are a handful, and science actually backs that up. A study from the University of California, Davis, one of the most comprehensive coat color behavior studies ever conducted, found that Calico and Tortoiseshell cats scored highest in aggression toward humans. Hissing, swatting, and resistance to handling came up significantly more in these cats than in solid-colored counterparts. The reason may be genetic. Calico coloring is the result of a complex X-chromosome expression process. Almost all calicos are female, and researchers believe the same gene interaction that creates that tricolor pattern may also influence neurological wiring tied to reactivity. But here's what makes calicos so misunderstood. Their intensity isn't random aggression, it's communication. Calicos are opinionated cats. They know what they want, they know what they don't, and they will absolutely tell you. Owners who respect that boundary and learn to read their signals report some of the most rewarding cat relationships imaginable. The warning isn't avoid calicos. The warning is, don't adopt one if you want a pushover. Calicos are opinionated, but the next coat color takes that energy to a completely different level. And there's actually a scientific reason behind it that most owners never get told. The tortoiseshell cats. If calicos are opinionated, tortoiseshells are calicos turned up to maximum volume. The term tortitude exists for a reason, and it's not just internet folklore. The same UC Davis research that flagged calicos also identified tortoiseshell cats as displaying the highest rates of unpredictable behavior among all coat colors studied. What makes torties different from calicos is the unpredictability factor. Calicos tend to be consistently assertive. Torties can shift moods rapidly, affectionate one moment, overstimulated and reactive the next. This catches owners completely off guard. You're petting a purring tortie, and within seconds you've got teeth in your hand. First-time cat owners who adopt torties based on their stunning coats often end up convinced they got a broken cat. They didn't. They got a cat that requires experience, patience, and the ability to read extremely subtle body language signals. Torties also tend to bond with one specific person in the household and show open hostility toward others. If you live alone and want a cat with genuine personality and fire, A tortie might be the most entertaining companion you'll ever have. Just know exactly what you're walking into. Now we move to the most common cat coat on the planet, and the one most owners think they already understand. They don't. And that blind confidence is exactly what gets them into trouble. The tabby cats. Tabby is the most common cat coat pattern on Earth, and also the most misunderstood. Because tabby isn't a breed, it's a pattern. And within that pattern, behavior can vary significantly depending on the base color underneath. Brown tabbies tend to be highly adaptable, social, and easygoing, consistently ranking among the most adoptable cats in shelter studies. Orange tabbies carry those bold, demanding orange cat traits wrapped in stripes. Gray tabbies lean toward the sensitive end of the spectrum. But here's the warning that applies to all tabbies across the board. Because they're so common and so normal-looking, owners consistently underestimate their intelligence. Tabbies are sharp. They problem-solve, they test boundaries, and they get bored fast. A bored tabby will find its own entertainment, and you will not enjoy what it chooses. Scratched furniture, knocked-over objects, and relentless midnight zoomies are the direct result of understimulated tabby brains. Studies on feline enrichment show that patterned coat cats with high prey drive, which tabbies have, require significantly more interactive play than the average owner provides. Your tabby isn't misbehaving. It's telling you it needs more from you. Tabbies hide their intelligence behind a common face. But the next cat hides something completely different behind that perfectly tailored black and white coat, and most owners fall for it every single time. The Tuxedo cats. Tuxedo cats have one of the most loyal fan bases in the cat world, and there's actually data behind the love. Multiple behavioral studies and shelter assessments have found that bicolor cats, particularly black and white tuxedos, consistently rank among the most social and trainable domestic cats. They adapt well to new environments, tolerate children and other animals better than most coat types, and show high rates of successful long-term bonding with their owners. But here's where owners go wrong. Because tuxedo cats are so social and so visibly expressive, they're often chosen by people who want a low-effort companion. Big mistake. Highly social cats have high social needs. A tuxedo cat left alone for long hours without stimulation or interaction will develop behavioral problems fast. Excessive vocalization, destructive behavior, and attention-seeking aggression are the direct result of a social cat whose needs aren't being met. If you work from home, have a multi-pet household, or can genuinely dedicate interactive time daily, a tuxedo cat will reward you beyond expectation. But if your lifestyle means long hours away from home, you're setting both yourself and the cat up for frustration. Tuxedo cats need your presence. But the next color needs something far more subtle from you. And if you miss it, you won't even realize anything is wrong until it's already serious. The cream or ivory cats. Cream and ivory cats are among the rarest natural coat colors, and among the least researched. But what data does exist paints a surprisingly consistent picture. Cream cats, often found in breeds like the British Shorthair, Ragdoll, and Persian, tend to score high in docility and low in territorial aggression. They're calm, quiet, and remarkably tolerant, which makes them sound like the perfect cat for any household. Here's the warning. That calm exterior can mask a deeply passive nature that owners misread as contentment. Cream cats are less likely to vocalize distress. They won't yowl when they're sick. They won't act out when they're stressed. They'll simply withdraw, quietly, gradually, until a health or emotional issue has progressed far beyond what it should have. Veterinary professionals have noted that cream and light-coated cats are often brought in for conditions that should have been caught much earlier, precisely because their owners assumed silence meant everything was fine. If you own a cream cat, you cannot rely on behavioral signals the same way you would with a more reactive coat color. You need to be proactive, regular vet checks, daily observation, and learning to notice the subtle signs that something is off. Silence is not always peace. Cream cats go silent when something is wrong. But this last group of cats, they're in a category so rare and so genetically complex that even most vets don't fully understand them, and owners are almost never prepared for what comes with them. The multicolor cats. This is where most owners are completely in the dark, because these cats don't fit into any standard category, and the internet gives them almost no serious coverage beyond aesthetic appreciation. Color point cats, like Siamese patterned breeds, carry one of the most well-documented behavioral profiles in feline science. They are vocal, demanding, highly intelligent, and emotionally dependent in ways that can genuinely overwhelm unprepared owners. Studies consistently show color point cats developing anxiety-based disorders at higher rates when their social and cognitive needs aren't met. Smoke-coated cats, where the fur appears solid but reveals a lighter undercoat, are less studied, but shelter workers consistently describe them as highly alert, reactive to environment, and prone to stress in unstable households. And chimera cats, those with two visually distinct facial colorations, are genetically fascinating, but carry zero predictability in behavioral profiling because their coat pattern results from two sets of DNA expressing simultaneously. What this tells you is simple. The more visually complex the coat, the more you need to research that specific cat's background, parentage, and early socialization, because no general rule will prepare you. These cats don't fit the mold, and if you adopt one assuming they will, you'll be caught completely off guard. You just learned something most cat owners never find out until it's too late. Every single coat color comes with its own set of needs, risks, and relationship dynamics, and ignoring that isn't just a mistake, it's unfair to the cat. Now, here's what I want you to do. Drop the color of your cat in the comments right now, and tell me if what you just heard matches your experience. And if you want to go even deeper into understanding your cat, the next video is already waiting for you. Don't miss it.